Tori. Hey.
How's it going?
Good, good. Doing well. It's good to see you. Good to get to talk to you again. I haven't seen you since the annual, but I know you're doing well.
Yeah, good to see you too.
So as you all probably read above, to introduce Tori a little bit again, she is finishing her last week right now as the Facility and Operations and Special Events Graduate Assistant at Oklahoma State, and gets to move to LSU to work at UREC for them next week as the Facility Operations Coordinator there. So we're super excited for Tori. I know she is too. But thanks for taking the time to talk to me, Tori.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll dive right into it. First question I wanted to ask is kind of to go through your application process for your GA. So let's go back to when we were seniors at Old Virginia Tech working together. So take me through that process. When did you find the job post? How did you find it? And then maybe just take me through that application process a little bit.
Absolutely. So I started looking on Bluefish back in October pretty early. I knew very early on that I wanted to get a graduate assistant position, whether it was going to be in aquatics or facilities. I wasn't quite sure. So I started looking in October. But for Oklahoma State, I found that one in January and went ahead and applied in January. My interview process was also at the end of January, and then I was offered in February. And then I actually started my position in June, which was a lot earlier than most folks, and got to kind of get a head start early and figure everything out before the school year started and things got hectic.
Very cool. So you did undergrad in Virginia at Virginia Tech, and then you move out to Oklahoma and start working as a GA at Oklahoma State. Take me through a couple quick highlights of your GA experience while you're there for those 2 years.
So the biggest highlight for me would definitely be getting to see the students grow. Here at Oklahoma State, we do what's called NIRSA Fridays. So every Friday in the fall, we bring students together who might be interested in the field. And through that process, we were able to bring over 32 students to conferences. Some of them presented. 4 students have gotten either internships or graduate assistant positions. And that's been really, really exciting to see. And then on a personal level, all of the graduate assistants and the professional staff have really good relationships here at OSU. We have a crew that gets together for all of the football games to tailgate. We go karaoke together. If you didn't know, Region 4 is big on karaoke, and Oklahoma State is no different. Go to the annual conference. There were 3 of us that left Stillwater at midnight to drive to Dallas to catch a 6 a.m. flight. And then went straight into NIRSA and went 48 hours without sleep. And we just really had good friendships developed throughout this process. And I think those are some of the best memories I'll have.
That's awesome. So I guess my next question kind of going off of that, and our relationship has been able to grow and continue through being able to hang out at the annual conferences and various conferences. So I've really enjoyed being able to do that with you and to brag on you a little bit as a William Wasson Award winner this year. That was really exciting and awesome. So what has been maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite NIRSA memories to this point?
So my favorite NIRSA memory would be being on the Student Lead-On Planning Committee for Region 4. I actually didn't realize I was going to be on that committee. I applied to be the Oklahoma State Student Leader, and then that year they decided that all of the state student leaders were going to be on the Lead-On Planning Committee, which was really exciting. So getting to work through that whole process was really fun, and then seeing it come into fruition. As a committee, we decided to do some new things for the Lead-On this year. We had some more interactive opportunities for students. Jorge Herrera and I got together to kind of change up the take a student to lunch process, and we wanted to make it a little bit more efficient. So seeing that through was really helpful. At the end of that process, there were actually no students left, so everyone got paired up. So that was really exciting. And also, every week for a semester, we had talked on the phone, and getting to meet everyone that I had been talking and corresponding with was really exciting too. So that was probably my favorite part. And it was my first committee, my first thing I was involved with NIRSA. So it really helped me dive in deeper to the world of collegiate recreation.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's a great way to get involved.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah. So take me through after you've essentially completed your GA at Oklahoma State, now moving on to LSU to work for them professionally. When you were applying to jobs, like when did you kind of start looking kind of in that second year of your GA, and what were some of the things that you were looking for in a professional job?
Yeah, so I started looking way too early. I expected it to be a lot like the graduate assistant process and tried to start looking in October, but that really wasn't the way, it should have gone. But when I was looking for a position, I was really looking for somewhere that I had a good fit. I wanted to be somewhere with a department that had similar values and a similar philosophy of collegiate recreation, and also just somewhere that was collaborative and that I felt that, I could grow professionally, but also that I could collaborate within the departments and that I wouldn't be intimidated. And I think I really started applying in January is when that started taking place.
Very cool. So as a successful young professional, now we get to call you a young professional, which is awesome. What are some tips that you have either for, rising juniors, rising seniors, or maybe first-year GAs watching this, or maybe in particular second GAs, to have a successful search for a professional job? Because yes, it's in a few months or maybe a year or two, but it's always good to be taking notes from people like Tori.
Absolutely. My first piece of advice would be not to rush the process. Like I said, I started looking in October. For LSU specifically, I didn't apply until March. My on-campus interviews, my phone interview was March 3rd. My on-campus interview was March 17th. And then I accepted my offer in May. Excuse me, I meant May. It was May 3rd, May 7th. Okay. And then I signed my offer letter on May 24th. And, I was very caught up and I want a job before I graduate. But, the process is a little different and you need to wait and see the way that things play out. And, everything turned out best, definitely. And I think that it was hard for me to take a step back. But luckily, I had a lot of mentors and a lot of loved ones telling me to just trust the process. And I think that's really important to keep in mind and not have any expectations that are too high. But then at the same time, know what you want in your first professional position and know what you're looking for and what you really want to gain. And, always remember that the first position is a stepping stone. And, learn and absorb everything you can throughout that process. But if that's not the position, that was your dream job, that's okay. Throughout my process, I was frequently reminded that it's easier to get a job when you already have a job. Just go with the flow and make the best of everything and learn as much as you can from everyone that you interact with.
Beautiful. Thank you. I learned something new.
You're welcome.
I know everybody watching hopefully has as well. So, Tori, I'm so excited for you. Good luck with your move next week and starting in your new position. LSU, you're lucky to have her. And thanks again for taking the time to be a resource for students and everyone watching this. So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, Will. It's good to see you.
I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you at a conference very soon.
Sounds great.